They say the first $100,000 is the hardest, and they're right. Because getting to this number feels almost impossible. Every dollar you save disappears into bills. Every side hustle feels like it barely moves the needle. And every setback, a car repair, a medical bill, a layoff, makes you want to give up completely. But here's the shocking truth. The difference between $0 and $100,000 is harder than the difference between $100,000 and $1 million. Sound insane, right? But ask any self-made millionaire. Warren Buffett himself once said, the first $100,000 is A-B******, but you've got to do it. Asterisk. So why is it so brutally hard? And why do so few people ever get there? In this video, I'm going to take you inside the painful journey to that first six figures, the grind, the setbacks, the sacrifices, and then show you why, once you cross this line, everything changes forever. Stick around, because if you've ever felt like wealth is out of reach, this story will prove to you that the struggle is worth it. Here's the thing about money. Not all milestones are created equal. Your first $1,000? It feels great, but it's gone with one car repair. Your first $10,000? It's better, but it can still vanish with a medical bill or a few months of unemployment. But your first $100,000? That's different. That's the moment when money stops being fragile and start working for you. Why? Because once you hit that mark, compound interest finally has something real to grab onto. A 7% annual return doesn't look like much when you have $5,000. That's only $350. But on $100,000, that's $7,000 in growth in a single year without lifting a finger. It's the difference between constantly pushing uphill and finally feeling gravity pull you forward. Every wealthy person, from Warren Buffett to your quiet millionaire neighbor, will tell you the same thing. The game truly begins at six figures. And that's why this video isn't just about money. It's about survival. Because until you cross this milestone, life feels like a treadmill, running, sweating, exhausted, but getting nowhere. So how do you actually fight through the impossible climb to reach it? That's where the Raul story begins. For most people, the road to $100,000 feels less like a journey and more like a battlefield. Think about it. The average American household earns around $60,000 a year before taxes. By the time Uncle Sam takes a share, rent eats another third, groceries keep rising, and gas and bills pile on top. What's left? Maybe a couple $100, if that. Now imagine saving with that reality. You want to put away $500 this month. Then suddenly the car breaks down. Boom, savings gone. You finally build $2,000 in your account. Then an unexpected medical bill wipes it out overnight. This is why most people give up before they even start. It feels like the game is rigged against you. Debt only makes it worse. Credit cards whisper, just pay the minimum. Student loans hang over your head like a storm cloud. And payday loans? They're quicksand. The deeper you step, the faster you sink. But the biggest struggle isn't even financial. It's emotional. The paycheck-to-paycheck grind wears you down. Every declined card at the grocery store, every moment you have to say no to your kids, every time you check your account hoping for a miracle, it chips away at your belief that things can ever change. And here's the harsh truth. Most people never make it out of this cycle. Not because they're lazy, not because they don't care, but because the system is designed to keep them comfortable enough to survive and exhausted enough not to fight back. This is why that first $100,000 feels impossible. It's like standing at the bottom of a mountain with no gear, no map, and the weather against you. But here's the twist most people don't see. Some do make it. Ordinary people with the same bills, the same debts, and the same struggles. They find a way to claw their way to six figures. So what separates them from the rest? That's where the turning point comes in, and it's not what you think. So what actually flips the script? What takes someone from drowning in bills to quietly stacking their way toward $100,000? It's not winning the lottery. It's not landing a six-figure job. And it's definitely not some magic investment. The real turning point starts in the mind. Here's the secret most people overlook. Wealth doesn't begin with money. It begins with discipline. Think of Maria, a single mom working as a nurse. She wasn't earning big money, but she made one radical shift. She treated her savings like a bill she had to pay every month. Before the rent, before groceries, before Netflix, she carved out $100, sometimes just $50, and put it aside. It didn't feel like much. But here's where the cliffhanger hits. After a year, that tiny habit added up to $3,000. And with that $3,000, she did something most people never even think to do. She invested it. This is the moment where the treadmill stopped and the climb began. Because once you put money to work, even a little, the rules change. Suddenly, you're not the only one hustling. Your dollars are hustling too. And here's the twist. Once Maria saw that first bit of growth, she got addicted to the progress. Every sacrifice, skipping takeout, driving her car an extra year, saying no to impulse shopping, started to feel less like pain and more like power. This is the psychological shift that separates those who break through. They stop asking, "How can I afford this?" and start asking, "Would I rather have this today or freedom tomorrow?" Every wealthy person remembers this exact moment. It's the day you realize that every dollar you waste today is a soldier that could have been fighting for you tomorrow. And here's the kicker. Once you make that shift, the climb to $100,000 doesn't get easy, but it finally becomes possible. Because now, every small win starts to snowball. And that snowball, once it rolls, is almost impossible to stop. The climb to $100,000 doesn't happen overnight. It's not glamorous. It's not flashy. It's built dollar by dollar, habit by habit, sacrifice by sacrifice. At first, progress feels painfully slow. Saving $200 a month feels like trying to fill a swimming pool with a teaspoon. But here's the trick the wealthy understand. Consistency is the spark that lights compounding's fire. Month after month, the account balance inched up. $5,000, then $10,000. And yet, even here, temptation whispered, "You've worked hard. Why not spend it?" This is where most people fall off the path. But those who reach $100,000, they double down instead of cashing out. Think of Jason, a warehouse worker who lived off less than he made. While his co-workers bought new trucks, Jason kept driving his rusty old sedan. His friends laughed when he passed on weekend trips or bar nights. But Jason wasn't just saving. He was investing. And within a few years, those small, boring choices added up to tens of thousands. That's when compounding finally kicked in. At $20,000 invested, the market returned $1,400 in a year. That's barely a month's rent. But $50,000? The return was $3,500, more than Jason's entire vacation budget. And at $80,000, the growth was nearly $6,000, an amount that used to take him months to earn his job. This is the invisible force nobody sees at the beginning. Compounding starts as a whisper and then turns into a roar. But here's the emotional part. The climb isn't just about numbers. It changes you. Sacrifice becomes strength. You realize you don't need the newest phone because freedom tastes better than status. You don't need to impress neighbors because your future self is watching. You don't measure wealth by what's in your driveway, but by the quiet power building in your accounts. Every milestone along the way, $25,000, $50,000, $75,000, feels like climbing higher on a mountain. The air gets thinner, the path gets steeper, but the view keeps getting better. And then comes the tipping point. Somewhere around $90,000, you realize the money is growing faster than you are adding to it. Your investments are making in a month what used to take you half a year to save. This is when everything changes. This is when you feel the momentum shift from you carrying the money to the money carrying you. But the real moment of truth, that happens at 6 figures. And when it comes, it doesn't just change your bank account. It changes your identity. And then one day it happens. You log into your account, the same account you've been grinding to build for years, And the number staring back at you isn't $95,000. It isn't $99, 500, six figures. $100,127. It almost doesn't feel real. For years, this number seemed like a finish line on another planet. Now it's sitting right there in black and white. That's the emotional payoff. The quiet victory no one claps for, but that changes everything. Because hitting $100,000 isn't about the money. It's about what the money represents. It represents years of saying no when it would have been easier to say yes. It represents every Friday night you stayed in, every paycheck you squeezed, every impulse you fought off. It represents the day you stopped living as a consumer and started living as an investor. And the most powerful part? At $100,000, money stops being fragile. When you had $1,000, one car repair destroyed you. At $10,000, one emergency could set you back a year. But at $100,000, the game changes. Your money is no longer just sitting there. It's working. It's multiplying. It's buying you something priceless, peace of mind. Imagine going from constant anxiety over bills to knowing you have six figures quietly growing in the background. Imagine watching your money earn $7,000 in a year without you lifting a finger. That's more than some people save working full-time. This is why so many millionaires call $100,000 the real finish line. Not a million, not 10 million. Because $100,000 is where you stop feeling powerless and start feeling untouchable. Of course, the climb doesn't stop here. This isn't the end of the journey, it's the beginning. But once you've proven to yourself that you can do the impossible, every milestone after feels inevitable. Because if you can go from $0 to $100,000, what's stopping you from going to $500,000 or $1 million? So what are the lessons from this brutal but life-changing climb? Here's the blueprint you can follow right now. Step 1. Pay yourself first. Treat savings like a bill that has to be paid. Even if it's just $50 a week, lock it away before life spends it for you. Step 2. Live below your means. No exceptions. The car upgrade, the extra subscription, the weekend splurge. Cut them ruthlessly. Sacrifice now so your money can grow later. Step 3. Avoid toxic debt. Credit cards and payday loans will drag you down faster than you can climb. Kill high-interest debt before it kills your progress. Step 4. Invest early. Invest consistently. Don't wait until you feel ready. The earlier your money goes to work, the faster compounding takes over. Step 5. Track your progress. Celebrate milestones along the way. $1,000, $10,000, $25,000, $50,000. Each one is proof that the system works, and that $100,000 is just around the corner. And here's the most important lesson of all. Discipline beats income. You don't need to earn six figures to save six figures. You need habits that turn small wins into unstoppable momentum. The first $100,000 is brutal, but it's the foundation of freedom. But once you cross it, your money finally starts working harder than you do. And that's the secret nobody tells you. Freedom isn't about millions. It starts with that first six figures. So here's my challenge to you. Don't just watch this and move on. Decide today that you're going to fight through the struggle, cut the noise, and build your own $100,000. Because if ordinary people can do it, so can you. And if this video opened your eyes, don't forget to subscribe to this channel.